Hey everyone, Dan Vuksanovich here for Why I Suck at Guitar. Today we're going to start a new series called Guitar Myth Busting. And the first myth that we're going to bust and bust wide open is that you have to know how to read standard notation in order to be a real guitarist or a real musician. There is this idea out there that using tab is cheating. And I actually grew up thinking this, mostly because I had guitar teachers who insisted that reading standard notation was critical to learning how to be a guitar player. But then years later in grad school, when I was in Renaissance Ensemble, I learned that as far back as the 1400s, lute composers and lute players used, drumroll please, tablature. Now, this was shocking to me. I had always assumed that tab was some sort of newish creation designed to sidestep reading standard notation, but that's not the case. Tablature is centuries old and was in all likelihood created because it is the simplest way to notate for fretted instruments. Now, looking back and thinking about how this myth has grown up, I think that there's actually a lot of teachers out there who teach standard notation because it's easy to teach, not because it's a requirement for learning to be a guitar player. Think about it. Teaching technique is hard. Teaching phrasing is hard. Teaching harmonic analysis is hard. Teaching what letters correspond to dots on a staff is easy. Also consider that standard notation is effectively tablature for the keyboard. There's only one place to play each note in standard notation on a keyboard. If I see middle C, there's only one key for middle C. That's not the case on guitar. Also consider that standard notation is not music theory. I can know what notes I'm playing, what chords I'm playing, what key I'm playing, what kind of harmonic progression I'm playing without knowing where the notes are on a staff in standard notation. The reverse is also true. I can know how to read music without knowing any relevant theory at all. Knowing where I can play middle C on a guitar won't help me understand or create a chord progression, a melody, or a harmony line. Now, are there situations where learning to read standard notation matters? Sure, of course. If you want to be part of an ensemble where standard notation is used to distribute everyone's parts, then it's required. Classical ensembles, jazz combos. If you want to learn other instruments besides guitar, especially keyboard, where standard notation is the default, of course you need to know how to read standard notation. Think of it this way. Standard notation is a language. If you're not going to be around a bunch of German people, you don't need to learn German. If you're not going to be around a bunch of people who use standard notation to communicate, you don't need to learn standard notation. And it doesn't mean that you're cheating, and it doesn't mean that you're not a real musician. The key question that we need to ask ourselves as guitar players is, what should I be spending my time on to achieve my goals? There are only 24 hours in a day, and we only have so many hours in each day to focus on our music. So why would we choose to commit time to something that in a lot of cases doesn't improve our chances to reach the goals that we have? I'm sure that there are going to be lots of thoughts on this, and YouTube is a great forum for having conversations. So add your comments below. Let's talk about it. If you liked what you saw here today, please like, comment, share. And as always, let's all try to suck a little bit less at guitar each day.